Welcome to Board Game Empire. We're going to be giving you a brief overview and our thoughts on Ironwood by Mindclash Games. So at the time of filming, this is currently on GameFound. It'll probably have 7 to 8 days left once we upload this video. This is a preview of the prototype, so what you see here may change. We're just going to give you, basically, we played through a game and we're going to give you our thoughts on it and give you a quick overview of just the basic mechanics. Not a full how to play or anything. So this is a 2-player game. One player plays as Woodwalker, the other one plays as Ironclad, and you're basically trying to be the first to either discover 3 totems for the Woodwalker or forge, what are those called? Forges?
Yeah, forge.
Build 3 forges. The first side to do that is the winner of the game. So you're doing this by playing your cards. Each faction has their own special action cards. These are the Woodwalkers. These are the Ironclad. Each one is different, so you don't have there's no duplication, I believe, in the cards. There might be a few that are, I think they are a few that are duplicated, but overall, I saw most of them were slightly different.
I don't think so. I think they're all different.
And then for the Woodwalker, you have the vision cards. Those cards are what tell you where you can discover the next totem. You keep that secret from your opponent, but once you've discovered it or the card has been burned, you display them all so the opponent and yourself can basically see where the totem is not going to be, basically. So when you draw one, you're going to have one that you're going to be keeping hidden. So this one, it would be Chromia. So the next totem can be found in Chromia. So to be able to find a totem there can't be any, so there's a forge there. I don't know how that works, but there can't be any of his fighters on there. I have to be adjacent to it, and I have to play my visions card that allows me to discover. Then I could grab a totem and say I had my fighters adjacent to that. I don't know about the forge, if you could do that or not, but I would put my totem there, and then my goal is to get it back to the outer edge so I could secure it into onto my player board. He's doing similar, but a little different with his forges. First, he has to build the foundation side by paying, I think, 5 crystals. And then later, he have to play cards to do all these actions. But then he can do it, pay another 5, I think, to make it a forge. These forges and totems, once they're locked in like that, are not destroyable. But you can destroy his mine. I can destroy those. I think the foundations, I believe, can be destroyed. We didn't battle with foundations, but we're constantly, my fighters will start out on the outer regions in only the woods areas. His will be on only the mountains, and he starts in, I can't remember where he started. You're kind of playing your own character, so I didn't really dive into his that deeply. He does start out with 1 forge and the drill. And he puts out a certain amount of units as well at the same time. So you will be going through your cards, and again, the game ends when one player has either 3 totems or their 3 forges. You will be playing 3 phases within each of those rounds. There's a preparation phase where you gain, the Woodwalkers gain 1 crystal, the Ironclads gain 2. We draw 2 cards from our special cards. At the end of each round, you need to make sure you don't have more than 8. I don't think we ever had more than 8 at the end of the round. And then you remove any markers. You will have cards, special cards, that allow you to put markers on them. And you'll be removing one of those markers each round. And once all those markers are exhausted, you would move that card over to your discard pile. And those cards will move up to the top of your player board, just so they don't take up your 3 spaces for your action cards that you'll be playing in the action phase. You take turns playing 1 action card till you've played 3. Then it's the round in. That's when you move up any cards with markers. You discard down to 8. If you have a totem that's sitting out here that you didn't get to move, You turn it over to fade it. Next turn, if you still haven't moved it, it goes away and you're going to have to start over and discover another one. And then you can recruit any fighter for 2 crystals each. And then you start over to the next preparation phase and you just keep going until someone has won. So what did you think of this game?
I really like the illustration and the component. Great component quality. The illustration, I think, is by the person who did the Return of the Dark Towers. Also, the Nacarty and Cerebria, which is by Mindclash Games. But so I really like the illustration aspect of the game and the components. The rule book was easy to read and it perfectly outlined. So as far as the replayability, high replayability because the cards are always random. There's plenty of cards to cycle through. Set time takes 5 minutes or less.
Yeah, your stuff's all in one box.
Yeah, so it's just if you want to put it in little compartments or different things that you want to put it in, but 5 minutes or less. Also tear down and rereading the rule. When you have the preparation phase, draw everything it's already outlined, so it would be a quick read again. So high replayability. Mechanics, simple mechanics, but yet strategic enough because of the cards and the randomness. There's a luck-based factor because of the cards being so random at certain times, but there is a lot of strategy. She won, I didn't win. So the mechanics do remind me of similar to a risk type game or a if you like what is it, Unmatched or Dice Throne. It's almost the same, but with error majority, error control. But the cards themselves almost have that same mechanic aspect to it. So I really do like that. I think that this will better suit people that like Risk or card games, which me and Quinn are very favorable
like
to
battling card games, kind of.
Those are our type of game. I don't know if she liked it or not, but I really liked it. I think that this is a game that I think if they expand on more characters or more different classes of factions, I think that this will compete with the Unmatched and the Dice Thrones, and so hopefully they continue with this IP or game.
Okay, so me, I'll say right off the bat, this is not my type of game. So saying that, it's not one I would choose, no, but I didn't hate it. I wasn't miserable playing it. Some of them I'm just like so bored because it's just not my
She's not a risk game player.
Yeah, I used to play Risk a lot, but now I just don't enjoy these type games. But I will say for this type of game, these type of mechanics, it is very well done. The special decks that you have, the fact that they're very different. So there's a lot of variation in the cards. I like the little vision card aspect of the Woodwalker, and the Ironclad does get an opportunity to view that once by card, so it kind of balances out a little bit. I will say maybe it's just that he didn't have the Ironclad down well with a great strategy, but
I don't think the cards that's what I said, the randomness.
Oh, because I feel like I won too easily. Especially in this type game. He normally does very well against me in this type game because this is his jam. He loves stuff like this. So me, I'm usually not interested, and I play, but I'm not at my best. So I feel for that reason.
So you beat me.
It's just I felt it was a little unbalanced towards the Woodwalker. I feel like I had it a little easier than he did to create his forges versus my totems. Everything else is really balanced, but I don't know. But again, we only played one time. Maybe if he played that faction a few times and got different cards out at the, it could have been a very different game. But yeah, I just went on attack mode from the get-go and just kept him beat down, and was these vision cards, I knew exactly where to go. So he had no idea where I was going. So, and I would fool him a few times. I moved armies that had nothing to do with it, but I was just basically trying to hold him back from doing a forge. It had nothing to do with my vision card. So, but
And your cards seem to be a little bit more.
yeah, I feel mine are more overpowered. You do have 3 basic cards that you have to use at the beginning of every action phase. I didn't say that. They have a little star on them. So that helped me a lot because one of those is my visions card. So I'm going to always have that card. Or didn't you always have the one where you could forge?
Yeah.
So maybe it is balanced. You just didn't get cards. But maybe my cards are just better. I don't know.
I think it's because she kind of, I was trying to figure out a strategy, and then I didn't get one till like mid-game. She already was like full-on throttle, like freaking.
Oh, from first move.
Yeah, she was literally trying to like figure out what she was going to do. I was more trying to figure out the playing field and, you know, the strategy. And by the time I was midway, you know,
See, this isn't a long game that you can do that. You have to be, I mean, it doesn't, how long were we playing? Like 30 minutes maybe?
Yeah,
35?
Yeah, I would say that probably the more you play this, the more strategic you probably get at it. Is you know what cards you have and what cards are coming up and which cards you know, already depleted, and you pretty much are able to figure out your deck.
So if my recommendation is if you enjoy area domination, card battling type games, you would probably like this game a lot. So if you don't, I still enjoyed it, even though I don't really care for those games. This one is well done. It has enough in it to where it kept me interested. The cards, it's because the cards were varied so much. That's one thing I don't like about card battling games. You're like the same cards over and over and over, and that's what makes them kind of uninteresting to me. But no, this one was exciting enough for me to stay, you know, fairly interested in it. So did you have anything else you wanted to say?
My standpoint, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, so there you go.
We have, yeah, like she likes word games. I'm not fond of word games. I like battling games. She doesn't like battling games. So
yeah,
but then we both like worker placement games and
point salad.
Yeah, point salad.
So I mean, so there you have 2 different viewpoints. Even though my viewpoint is totally not really into this type, I still think it's a really well done game. So definitely, he will put the link in the description. Please check out their Game Found campaign if you think this is something you might be interested in, or share this video with your friends if you think it's something they might be interested in. Again, it'll have, you know, probably about a week left when we post this video. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully it helped you to make a decision. Feel free to leave any comments or questions. We'll get to those as soon as we can. We hope you're already subscribed. Thank you so much if you are. If not, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you next time.